Hello, Nigeria. Every Sunday night, Newsline opens a window to the soul of our nation, telling stories that travel beyond places and people into purpose and pride. Tonight is not an exception as we bring you reports from the echoes of history to the heartbeat of today. They returned not in chains, but in celebration across oceans and time. The door of return opened once again in Badagry, welcoming home the children of Africa's scattered dreams. From the soul of the nation's capital, we climbed to the peak of Katampe Hill, where Nigeria stands at its very center, breathing. And from the highways of Europe to the heart of Africa, a lone rider returns, a woman of courage, rewriting the map of determination. This is Newsline, and I'm Elizabeth Omori. Welcome. We'll begin with the news of the day. We begin with security matters. The sixth Governor Committee set up by President Bola Tinubu to assess the conditions of the nation's security training institutions across the country says it is hitting the ground running immediately to achieve the task within the time frame given at this month's meeting of the National Economic Council. A member of the committee, Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State, a guest on NT's weekly program on the activities around the presidency called Executive Recap, says the committee led by Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State values the importance and urgency attached to the assignment towards enhancing the welfare and condition of service of the Nigeria Police Force.
It is just to identify what is required from this institution. A lot of them are dilapidated. If you look at the one in Ikeja, for instance, you can see the standard of that. Is it up to the standard of what a training institution, that will train the kind of officers that we are looking for will be? So I think the first thing is for us to know what does it take to be, a standard quality training institute. And then now to look at what we have now, and now to recommend what it will take to do that. I think it's a very simple, straightforward, and I'm happy that the secretary of the committee is actually the immediate past IG.
Governor Abdullahi Sule also comments on the recent changes President Tinubu made to the leadership of the Nigerian Armed Forces.
If you look at most of the other officers who have been there, the Chief of Air Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, and the rest of that, they are all people also who are hands-on. So I think, for me, I don't see anything wrong with it. And I don't see anything wrong with the other officers. General Musa has done well. He did his best. We always commended him. He has attended our meetings of the Nigerian Governors Forum twice. We interacted. He shared with us. I attended another meeting, of the Northern Institute with him, twice. And so I think all of them seem to be people who have contributed, and it's time to move on. You cannot continue to keep certain people in one position for too long. That's the way I see it.
The committee is led by Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State. Now, for more on the interview, stay tuned to the NTA as Executive Recap airs on the network service at 10:30 tonight. Let's talk mining. Solid Minerals Development Minister Dele Alake charges investors to increase their investment stakes in Nigeria's solid minerals sector following positive reforms that promise higher returns. At this China Mining Conference in Tianjin, Alake impressed his host with security reforms, including the mining marshals and the satellite mines monitoring project, which were introduced to protect licensed miners and curtail illegal mining. He cited upgrades in technology to ease business and processing applications to remove remote transactions. Reviewing the Chinese mining business, Alake acknowledged that investment in lithium processing alone grossed $1.3 billion since September 2023, adding that memorandum of understanding signed by President Bola Tinubu during the state visit in September 2024 have led to substantial investment commitments. Alake, who reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to strengthen continental cooperation in mineral exploration and reporting standards, reiterated plans to strengthen regional centers of excellence in geosciences and mining skills, expand the role of the Solid Minerals Development Fund and the SMDF AFC facility in supporting early-stage exploration and risking investments. In other news, Nigeria has accepted to host the maiden meeting of the African bloc of the National Committees of the International Press Institute. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, gave the indication during a meeting in Vienna, Austria, with the chairman of the IPI Executive Board, the IPI Executive Director, Scott Griffin, and IPI Executive Board member representing Nigeria and Africa, Rahim Adedoyin. A statement by the Minister's Special Assistant on Media says IPI Board approved the creation of regional blocks of national committees as means of dealing with specific regional interests within the global IPI community, although no date has been fixed for the meeting. IPI Secretariat in Vienna is to work out details. Now, the governing All Progressives Congress says its attention has been drawn to APC 2025 schedule of nationwide congresses and other related activities widely in circulation on social media. A statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary Felix Moka clarifies that the purported schedule of activities for congresses was neither made nor authorized by the party and should be disregarded. President Bola Tinubu congratulates cultural ambassador Oloye Lekon Alabi, a veteran journalist and public relations guru, on his 75th birthday. Oloye Alabi, who is also an author, began his journalism career at the defunct Sketch newspaper and later moved to the Western Niger Broadcasting Corporation, which later became the Nigerian Television Authority, Ibadan. The president commends the celebrant's professionalism, integrity, hard work, when he served as Chief Press Secretary to 4 governors in Old Oyo State and his years of service as Corporate Affairs Manager of Odua Company. He prays for many more years of good health and renewed strength for the celebrant. Now, the Emir of Gwandu, Muhammadu Ilyasu Bashar, has banned retired Assistant Comptroller General of Customs, Mohammed Sambo Khalil, as the new Bahindin Bagudo District Head of Bagudo in Kebbi State. Jafar Yusuf Ilo reports that he was banned at the Abdullah Fodius Palace in Benin, Kebbi.
Of ACG Mohammed Sambo Dangaladi Makaliel as new district head of Bagudo is coming after over 8 years of the demise of the last. Although ACG Dangaladi Sambo was appointed shortly after, he was not turbaned because he was still in service.
In these challenging times, turning to faith and prayer can be a source of comfort and strength. May we all find solace in our connection with Allah, and may our prayers bring us peace and guidance.
The celebrant promised to do everything possible for the development of Bagudo district and Gondu Emirate as a whole.
And by the grace of God, what you are saying in Bagudo, we are going to continue from where we stop. I have no any other place than Bagudo, and I have no any other country than Nigeria.
The representative of the Controller General of Customs, serving and retired custom officers, family, friends were guests at the ceremony.
We extend our gratitude to everyone who traveled from far and near to attend this occasion. We wish you a safe journey back home and success in all your endeavors.
He is honest. At the same time, he has fear of God in his mind.
Khalil joined the Nigerian Customs Service in 1990 as a cadet superintendent of customs. He served in various capacities, including Custom Area Controller, Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, and Kano Jigawa Area Command, Controller Import and Export under Tariff and Trade Department, Abuja, Controller Admin, Zone B Headquarters, Kaduna, and Assistant Controller General ACG, Zone B, and later Zone C, Port Harcourt. He retired on August 31, 2025, after a distinguished career marked by dedication and service to Nigeria. Now he is the district head of Bagudo. In Burinkebi, Jafari Sobilo, NTA News.
Away from confinement, troops of Operation Hardin Kai have neutralized 10 more terrorists in a fresh encounter along the Gambaru-Dikwa-Marte axis just days after eliminating over 15 insurgents in Katarko area of Borno and Yobe states. A statement by the Media Information Officer of the Joint Task Force Northeast, Operation Hardin Kai, Lieutenant Colonel Sani Oba, says the troops also thwarted an attempted infiltration into Gambaru-Ngala by terrorists, engaging them in a successful ambush that led to their neutralization. 5 AK-47 rifles, 1 PKT machine gun, 3 locally made guns, 2 fabricated pistols, loaded magazines, ammunition, motorcycles, bicycles, radio, among other items, were recovered. The Military High Command commends the troops for their bravery and tactical efficiency. Away from security, in a touching show of solidarity, Vice President Kashim Shettima and other prominent Nigerians have paid tributes to St. Jack Rich, president of Belema Oil Group, following the passing of his uncle, Dr. Harrison Tiger, a paternal figure whose influence shaped much of his life. The warm gestures of condolence reflect the deep sense of camaraderie and shared humanity among Nigerian leaders. Kufan Shaji brings us these details.
President of Belema Oil Group, T.N. Jack Rich, is receiving outpouring of love and condolences from prominent Nigerians and friends across the world following the passing of his uncle, Dr. Harrison Tiger. Among the early visitors was Vice President Kashim Shettima, who described Jack Rich as a good man, devoted to humanity and a bridge builder deserving of celebration, even in moments of grief.
So I want to thank you for coming here to honor me on account of the demise of my elder uncle who was like a father to me. On behalf of President Bola Ahmed, please accept our heartfelt condolences and be rest assured that the President holds you in the highest esteem. We'll continue to eulogize you, we'll continue to celebrate you, and will continue to support you.
Other dignitaries, including ambassadors and business associates from within and outside the country, also came calling.
To express my condolences to Jack Rich on the passing of his dear brother, who was a great patriot, a great man of Nigeria.
It's very important that for us brother and as friends to express our solidarity in this moment. So I am here to present my condolences to His Excellency.
Visibly moved by the show of solidarity, T.N. Jack Rich expresses gratitude, praying that the legacy of his late uncle continues to inspire service and unity among all.
To thank Mr. President for sending the Vice President to come and condole with the family on account of the demise of my uncle, who was like a father. And also thanking the Vice President for coming, despite the busy schedule of his. Today is a great outcome, not just for me, but also for the greater good of believers in the movement of our party.
The visits were marked by solemn prayers for the repose of Dr. Harrison Tiger's soul.
Let's talk sports, and we hear that Nigerian women have been winning lately. Let's now hear more from Bade Adeleye, our sportsman. Bade.
You're very correct, Elizabeth. On Friday, the Super Falcons defeated Benin Republic, and of course, on Saturday, the Flamingos recorded, a massive victory.
That's good to know.
All right. Let's begin with, news coming from Abuja as they just concluded. Sports Federation elections have produced some new leadership and others retained for the newly elected presidents of the Nigeria Tennis Federation and the Nigeria Rugby Football Federation, Victor Oche and Ademolare. It is a new dawn with renewed vision.
I want to concentrate more on grassroots sports. I want to have more competitions in Nigeria. And with the array of board members that we have now, it will not be business as usual.
We are here to uplift tennis as a sport in Nigeria. We are here to ensure that tennis will it will be one of those sports that everybody will hold in higher esteem, and people are really willing to come out and see it grow.
It's a new development that will usher in credible leadership into the boards of our national sports federations. So the exercise has been very smooth, very orderly.
Now, let's talk football. It is over for Nigeria Premier Football League reigning champions Remo Stars as far as Champions League football is concerned for this season after being bundled out of the competition by Mamelodi Sundowns. The South African Giants had beaten Remo Stars 5-1 in the first leg in Abeokuta and finished off the job in Pretoria with a 2-0 victory to seal a 7-1 aggregate win against the Stars. Now, let's return home and let you know that Match Day 10 of the Nigeria Premier Football League produced some interesting results. And of course, there was an away win as Niger Tornadoes stunned Kano Pillars 2-0. Nasarawa United still remain top despite not playing over the weekend due to their opponents, Remo Stars' continental engagements. Elsewhere in Aba, Abia Warriors remain on course in their title race in second position after a 2-0 win over Barau FC, while Warri Wolves defeated Bayelsa United 2-0 to keep them in contention for the top four. Away to the English Premier League, where Berechi Eze scored in the 39th minute against his former club, Crystal Palace, to give Arsenal a 1-0 win, which takes them 4 points clear at the top. At Villa Park, Aston Villa dealt a big blow on Manchester City title push with a 1-0 victory over the Citizens, ending their 9-game unbeaten run. Also, Bournemouth moved to second spot after a deserved 2-0 win over struggling Nottingham Forest, with Everton losing at home 3-0 to Tottenham. And let's remind you that Real Madrid defeated Barcelona 2-1 in the El Clasico earlier this evening. That's it on sports. Let's now return to Elizabeth.
Thank you so much, Bade, for the updates. And that's the news segment. Newsline Proper will be up after the break. Just stay with us. Thanks for staying with us and welcome to Newsline Proper. For centuries, countless sons and daughters of Africa were taken away in chains, never to see their homeland again. But today, the tide of history flows in reverse, as the descendants retrace those painful footsteps, not in despair, but in pride and reconnection. For the 5th year running, the ancient town of Badagry, Lagos, opened its arms for the Door of Return celebration, a symbolic homecoming that welcomes people of African descent from across the world back to their ancestral roots. Lanre Belayi was there to capture the emotional moments of this year's return.
The journey of no return refers to the dark ages of African history. It is the first transatlantic voyage of enslaved Africans who went through brutal paths to the Americas. A one-way trip marked by man's inhumane treatment to his fellow man. To ensure this period is forever etched in the memories of Africans and their descendants across the globe, memorials such as the Door of No Return was initiated in West Africa, where most of the slave trade occurred. Now, the narrative has been flipped to a more wholesome concept that would entail boosting socio-economic life and ecosystem of African countries which were slave destinations. Brilliant colors of cultural display also greeted tourists, who said this visit is the beginning of many more to come, especially for those willing to learn more about their heritage.
I hope this process that we are doing for the Door of Return continue, so more of them can know about their own roots and can make that return to heal the past.
To the Brazilian society, and it will be part of our foreign policy to foster this kind of cooperation.
NIDCAM chairman Abike Dabiri Erewa described the festival as a slingshot that knocks off more than 2 goals, such as a multi-million-dollar tourism potential, a veritable means for people to reconnect with their ancestral land, and facilitate trade opportunities.
And they keep saying, why haven't we been here earlier? But beyond just tourism, this is the spiritual physical, economic, and emotional connection. It's not about the past. It's about, reflecting on the past and its influence on the present and the future.
The NITCOM boss also hinted the plans are underway to make the coming festival grandeur, with a maiden voyage from the Americas to Badagry in the works. The first symbolic Day of Return was erected in 2017, with NITCOM boss Abike Dabiri Erewa building the bridge for its fruition.
Well, it's good to be home. Like the saying goes, no place like home. Welcome back. In the heart of Abuja is a hill commanding an often overlooked Katampe Hill, the geographical center of Nigeria, a place where the country seems to breathe. Let's join our correspondent Victor Azu as he climbs its rocky path to discover the view and the vision from Nigeria's center.
We're climbing up the hill to locate the center of Nigeria at the top of the Katampe Hill. I think some jogging will help here.
Every nation has a heart, so they say, a single point that holds its balance. For Nigeria, that point lies here, atop Katampe Hill in Abuja, the geographical center of the country. I made this climb to mark Nigeria's independence, 65 years of a journey still unfolding. Each step up this rocky trail feels symbolic, like the country's own uphill efforts to find balance and unity. On my way up, I met others coming down. We didn't speak, perhaps because every Nigerian, in their own way, is on a personal climb towards the same national center.
It gets more and more beautiful as we ascend the hill. You see the beautiful structures, the buildings, the roads, and the people. In the distance, you see other hills, and I see the presidential villa, the Aso Rock. Now, I'm trying to locate the very center of the country, and I'm told it's somewhere not far away from where we are now.
A small square metal marker, simple yet profound. It quietly declares, this is the very center of Nigeria. Few ever come here, though this spot represents us all. Abuja was chosen as a capital for its neutrality, a meeting point between regions and identities. Standing here, and later lying flat on the very heart of the country, I could feel that idea that even in our differences, there's still common ground. At the center of Nigeria, you find connection and a reminder that the climb towards unity is still ongoing. One step, one citizen at a time.
Thank you, Victor, for that report, and I'm sure you had a very long sleep after climbing the hill. And for those trying to lose weight, do endeavor to visit that hill. Very lovely report. Thank you so much, Victor. Now let's talk a very important staple food. From rural farmlands to bustling city markets, Gari remains one of Nigeria's most consumed staple foods, a humble product of cassava that feeds millions every day. Beyond its affordability and versatility, Gari production has become a major source of income for many families and small-scale entrepreneurs, driving local economies and sustaining livelihoods across communities. Well, in this report, Adebola Agbaji explores the economic benefits of Gari production, highlighting the process, its growing market demand, and the challenges faced by those who turn cassava into the golden grains that nourish the nation.
Cassava, a staple on most Nigerians' table, from gari and fufu to starch and flour. It's a lifeline that feeds millions every day. Yet, despite its abundance, cassava remains insufficient and increasingly expensive. a challenge for households that depend on meat as their main source of carbohydrates. Gone were the days when Gari was synonymous with status and class. Today, it is a delicacy for all and sundry, especially those that can afford it.
This is Gari. I like drinking Gari very, very much. I always drink it every night before I go to sleep.
I'm taking it with milk, sugar, and granules to make it balance.
Wahab Mariam, 15-year-old, just concluded her secondary school education, but needs to raise funds as she wishes to further more. While Madam Mujidat Aziz, according to her, said she joined the business at a younger age when things were tough, but now she is a proud mother of 3 graduates.
It is a very profitable venture. That is why I invest on it.
God has really helped me. I've been into the business for 40 years. I have built my own house. I have gone to Hajj, and I have graduates.
At the bustling Gari market in Oyo town, where smoke rises from roasting pits and women stir large frying pans under the sun, the story takes a different turn. Producers lament the high cost of production and poor access to modern equipment, calling for better support to boost efficiency and output.
To a large extent, at least government will come to our aid to mop it up for us, to encourage the farmer, to encourage the Gari processor.
From farmers to traders and consumers, everyone along the cassava value chain feels the pinch of fluctuating prices to post-harvest losses and limited access to processing facilities.
The appeal is for government at all levels to play a major part by providing good storage facilities and good road network to transport the products, while enhancing the standard of living of rural processors, to utilize machines towards the commercialization of cassava processing machinery to be available to processors at a subsidized rate.
On social media, Gari is said to be a trusted friend anytime, anywhere. It never fails. Well, some eat it every day, but just don't eat it every day because it's very addictive. Now, how about a mouth-watering snack to go with that sour Gari Jebo? Yes, and it's called Kuli Kuli, that crunchy delight and one of Nigeria's favorite local treats. Come along as we explore the story behind the golden delicacy loved across generations. Fatima Usman takes us on this journey.
Starts with a handful of granules, roasted, crushed, and fried to perfection. What comes out? That irresistible crunchy delight called Kuli Kuli. From roadside stalls to city supermarkets, Kuli Kuli has earned its spot as Nigeria's all-time favorite snack, a perfect companion to pap in the morning, Gari in the afternoon, or just quick nibble when the munchies strike.
I used to take it on Saturday and Sunday. As a Nupe person, that is usually our breakfast.
Kuli Kuli and Gari is a lifesaver, especially when I come back from school in a very sunny day. You know, it does not require cooking or anything, just soak it to Kuli Kuli and eat. Wow.
I also make use of Kuli Kuli like to do a bit of Brabisco. I don't know if you've heard of that, where we mix Kuli Kuli with Gari and then we do all the whole process.
You know, Gari is students' food and Kuli Kuli helps to balance it. The grounded one, which is here, we can use it to eat moringa leaf. When we boil it, we use it to garnish the moringa leaf.
In Niger State, often called the home of the best Kuli Kuli, women like Aisha Adamu, who has been in the business for over 40 years, and Habiba, who's giving the snack a modern twist, are redefining local enterprise, turning granules into gold.
My Kuli Kuli is being purchased across the country and beyond, which has increased my income to support my family greatly.
We have 4 different variants. Of course, we are launching some other ones too, but currently we have the classic, the coconut, the sesame, and the dates kuli.
At least I have like 12 workers. We produce every day, apart from Saturday and Sunday, but we produce in large quantity.
Once the pride of housewives and market women, kuli is now making waves beyond Nigeria's borders. Packed neatly, branded smartly, and tasting just as good, it is taking its place among international snacks.
Currently, we have our NAFDAC, SON, HACCP, and FDA certificates. And with all the certifications, we're able to export our products to the diaspora.
It has been great. People used to come to order.
Economists say the world may soon catch on to what Nigerians have known all along, that kuli isn't just a snack, but a crunchy, nutty revolution.
I concur. Kuli is highly proteinous. It's going global too, now in different flavors. It's that time of the year again when the Obi of Onitsha commune with its people in a colorful display of royalty, tradition and thanksgiving. The 23rd annual Ofala Festival brought together sons and daughters of Onitsha from home and abroad to celebrate their heritage, appreciate God for a fruitful year, and renew the bond between the throne and the people.
Every culture tells its story, some through words, others through rhythm, color, and dance. In Onitsha, that story comes alive through the grandeur of the Ofala Festival, a royal pageantry that unites tradition, spirituality, and community pride. The term Ofala comes from the Igbo words Ofo, meaning authority, and Ala, meaning land, together symbolizing the king's sacred authority over his people and territory. Obi of Onitsha, Igwe Alfred Nnemeka Achebe, makes his majestic appearance after days of seclusion and spiritual renewal. In full royal regalia, he performs the traditional war dance Ota, a symbolic expression of strength and divine connection to the chants and praise songs of his subjects. The red-cap chiefs also displayed their graceful dance steps, while various villages and clans take turns to pay homage, renewing their allegiance and reaffirming the deep bond between the throne and the people.
And it promotes resilience and upholds our enduring communal values. Our community development program under the Advancement Foundation.
It was very important for Mr. President, for us, for me, to come and represent the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and also to show the kind of partnership and the importance that this culture has in terms of how we can boost Nigeria.
The caliber of sponsors like Global Common Limited, Best Gene, Hero Lager Beer, Origin Bitters, Unilever, and Zenith Bank, under the auspices of QVT Media, underscore their dedication to cultural preservation, unity, and harmony.
Origin is proud to be part of this year's Ofala, celebrating with the good people of Onitsha. We want to say thank you, and we want to tell our consumers to keep drinking Origin and celebrating and preserving our culture and tradition.
The second day transforms Onitsha into a carnival of color, a celebration of identity and continuity. Age grades in bright attires parade proudly before the Obi. Each display a reminder that tradition lives on through generations.
Celebration is fantastic. This year's Ofala is spectacular.
For the people of Onitsha, Ofala Festival symbolizes homecoming, a renewal of faith in culture, leadership, and shared heritage. As it continues to draw global attention, the Ofala Festival remains a shining reflection of Igbo pride.
Our culture, our pride. You're still watching Newsline on the network service of the NTA. Let's take another break. More to come. To stay with us. Nice to know you're still there. Global beverage giant and maker of the popular soft drink, Coca-Cola, has reintroduced its iconic Share a Coke campaign, rekindling personalized connection and consumer excitement across Nigeria. This latest edition is specially designed to connect with Generation Z, encouraging friendship, creativity and social bonding. The campaign also comes with a reward twist with 250,000 naira cash prizes and 10 new millionaires emerging each week. Diana Ajale's report is hereby presented.
Aside from the fun-filled atmosphere, what was unique about 2025 Share a Coke campaign is the incorporation of a slang, promo infusion, and making the campaign relatable to the current young audience.
It's about the personalized connections you make. It's about having your dinner party with all your friends with personalized names on the table. I invite all of you to go out there, look for the name that vibes with you.
Filmmaker and entrepreneur Koti E.O. is the brand's influencer.
I'm sure they'll be happy to see their names on it too. So it's actually my target today to find people like Coke bottles with my friends' names and give it to them later.
A very multicultural society like Nigeria, over 250 ethnic groups. What we did is to work with the most popular names. We also work with a lot of our consumers to get to know from them what slangs they like to share. Badi, Italawa, Bestie, Rivers, Sabi Girl. We want to share hope, we want to share friendship, we want to share camaraderie.
Glad to be here. I'm having so much fun and I want to be part of the winners for this campaign.
Highlighting the available prizes alongside the 250 million naira up for grabs, Senior Director Marketing Coca-Cola Nigeria, Yusuf Muritala, says consumers also stand a chance of winning millions of naira and cash and other prizes through personalized 50 cl Coca-Cola bottles available nationwide.
Daily, there are over 4 million prizes and cash to be won. So for us, don't only personalize, get a chance to also win some cash, and our target audience is every Coke consumer.
Wande Cole was among several musical artists that thrilled the audience with their energetic performances.
Who wants to share a Coke with me?
Share a Coke campaign is designed to run from the month of October to December 31, 2025.
Let's shift attention to women empowerment. Ensure your vision makes the lives of others better. Maintain a positive profile, and when you rise, keep rising. Those were some of the inspiring takeaways from the 7th edition of the 360 Women Africa Conference 2025 held in Lagos, where our global entrepreneurial leaders shared insights on growth, empowerment and elevation. The event also featured the empowerment of 4 young women entrepreneurs with business grants to further their ventures.
From catering to their families, engaging themselves in various activities just to earn a living that will support the home, to their contributions to national development, the role of women cannot be overemphasized. This gathering is therefore designed to further empower visionary young women between ages 25 and 45 with requisite knowledge that will fast-track elevation in their various endeavors.
We continue to put value on the table. For us, first of all, is the passion to ensure that women thrive. And so, with that, every year and everything that we do, with our different programs, we keep touching and adding value and making impact.
Otherwise, it's not worth
This year's conference featured several global thought leaders and business titans whose presentations focused on how women can be uplifted and achieve their purpose in life.
Gender doesn't restrict you. The key thing is knowing where you want to go, that vision.
there's always a focus on the external elevation and the validation that comes from that.
Anybody who elevates others will always be elevated.
Your life should not only revolve around your family. There's a whole lot God has put inside of you that the whole world has to see.
High point of the event was the presentation of checks to winners of 360 Woman Africa 2025, who distinguished themselves among over 1,000 entrepreneurs that pitched for the grants. Victoria Duru of Wakamedics Healthcare Limited went home with a grand prize of 5 million naira. Bola Paint and Chemical Limited, 3 million naira, while 2 other winners, Cornerstone Beddings and a recycler with her unique name, Climate Lady Bamboo, were given 1 million naira each.
If I could leave my job in the air ambulance space just to have children, how many more women need to leave their job? I decided to help these women achieve pregnancy, and in just 3 years of our existence, we've been able to help 169 women have pregnancy. And thank you to 360 Women for reminding me that my dreams are valid.
We need that support, and I want to say a very big thank you to the convener of this great event for putting this together to support businesses like us. We are grateful.
With the theme, Elevate, Influence and Impact, according to the convener, Yvonne Chioma Ofodile, aside being equipped with the right knowledge, the conference also aims to assist women strive in their various capacities, provide funding, and support women entrepreneurs to grow their businesses.
Great initiative. Don't forget, empowerment is a key component of any thriving economy. Now, 50 years of giving voice to the voiceless, from one complaint box to a national institution. The Public Complaints Commission marked its Golden Jubilee, honoring a legacy of service, listening, resolving and standing for justice. And so the Commission rolled out the drums to celebrate this milestone. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu brings us details.
Half a century ago, in 1975, Nigeria's unique leader, late General Murtala Ramat Mohammed, decided the ordinary Nigerian deserve a voice, a place to run to when no one will listen. That decision gave birth to the Public Complaints Commission, the People's Ombudsman, standing as a bridge between citizens and authority. And leading that noble change then was the legendary Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Sule, the Masanin Kano, a man whose words could calm storms and whose passion for justice light up every room. From dusty files to digital frontiers, the Commission has evolved with the times, reshaping its mission and reaffirming its promise to every Nigerian to seek fairness, no matter how small the voice. 50 years later, the Commission is celebrating history and humanity. At its Golden Jubilee Gala Night, held alongside the 2025 Global Ombudsman Summit, it was glitz, clam, and networking.
Why we can be able to settle disputes, it is because we are everywhere. We accommodate homes, we accommodate hamlets, we accommodate local governments, we accommodate states, and we are internationally inclined.
Dignitaries, past leaders, and international guests pay tribute to 5 decades of service and sacrifice. There was laughter and standing ovation as the pioneer chief commissioner, led Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Sule, was honored posthumously. His first son stepped forward to receive the award. But perhaps the most heartwarming story of the night belonged to a man who started at the very bottom as a messenger. Through decades of diligence, he climbed the ladder to become the director of administration. Proof that, indeed, hard work, integrity, and patience still open doors in Nigeria.
Actually, it has not been easy. I was employed as a messenger
on salary grade level 02 with the primary school certificate. Then I went to school.
50 years on, the Public Complaints Commission stands as a quiet hero, listening when others shout, mediating where tempers rise.
Feels good, feels great, and we are proud of the commission. It was such an experience that will live for the rest of my life in my heart.
Service to humanity is the finest form of justice.
Thank you, Ilyasu. The Gera family is in the news again, and it's for another colorful celebration of love and tradition. This time around, the businessman Isa Mohammed Gerawa hosted a grand wedding for his daughters that attracted dignitaries from across Nigeria. Here is the highlight of the event.
Gerawa Central Mosque transformed into a scene of joy and reverence as two families came together in a celebration of love, faith and unity. It was the wedding party of Salim Sammani Muhammad and Aisha Isa Gerawa, Isa Umar Dauda and Hafsat Isa Gerawa, a union sealed with prayers and payment of 200,000 naira as dowry, in keeping with Islamic tradition. Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi, Minister of Defense Muhammad Badr Abubakar, and other dignitaries graced the occasion to honor Alhaji Isa Muhammad Gerawa, Chairman, Gerawa Group of Companies. As dusk settled, the mood shifted from sacred vows to a night of splendor. The wedding dinner, a perfect fusion of culture and class.
Marriage is a partnership built on love, trust, and understanding. It's not about perfection, but about patience, forgiveness, and commitment to one another.
I wish them marital bliss. I pray that Almighty Allah bless them with offspring.
I'm very happy and delighted because we've seen love from different people around the world.
Aisha is a very kind person and a very loving person. May Allah protect them.
She should be patient, they should be understanding, they should always communicate for them to understand each other.
The newlyweds expressed gratitude to their parents, families and well-wishers who journeyed from far and near to share in their happiness.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. I thank God for this marriage.
I would like to thank all people here, my family, my friends and everyone for making this day memorable for me.
As the night drew to a graceful close, the air was filled with smiles, prayers and blessings, a beautiful reminder of how faith, family and culture today legacies of love.
We wish them more love and God's blessings as they begin this new chapter. Now, we are not done with weddings, and this time around, it's the fairy tale wedding of Vanessa Omigi and Emmanuel Salubi, a beautiful blend of Edo and Delta traditions. Emmanuel is the son of Musumola Salubi, retired Deputy Director of News NTA Lagos Network Center. And as expected, the NTA family was well represented.
Vanessa, radiant in a gown that danced with the wind, walked down the aisle to a symphony of sighs and smiles as her beloved Emmanuel awaited her with eyes that told of journeys past and the future he couldn't wait to explore and build with her.
And I surrender myself to you in sacrifice.
The celebration witnessed two hearts that had long found rhythm in each other's beat finally come together in a union as elegant as it was electric. Set amidst the gentle sway of garden blooms and the golden hue of October light, the wedding held a poetic moment where friends and family gathered from far and near, not merely to witness, but to be part of a story of love, finally crowned.
They are not permitted to spend one day without talking to one another, without being kind to one another. But the most important thing is to have God in their lives.
Signed, sealed and delivered, the ceremony moved to a grand reception. As the night melted into music, one thing became undeniably clear. This wasn't just a wedding, it was a celebration of something rare, real and wonderfully radiant.
The Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from God. Since they're looking up to God for favor, he has decided to find a wife. And it's a thing of joy that we are alive to witness this day.
Communicate very well. Communication is very, very crucial. And then take everything to God in prayer.
Fireworks, but with a spark, quiet, sure and steady.
I wish for God to just bless our home continuously, for God to just keep on bringing everlasting joy to us. As we are the Banis, we call ourselves the Banis.
Bani, you know that Mani loves you so much. Vanessa is a very wonderful lady, and her calm, gentle nature was actually what attracted me.
Music star Timi Dakolo's presence and live performance of some of his love songs added more thrills to the reception. Joy spilled from every corner with laughter and excitement as hearts danced freely.
This is a virtue which every man must possess.
I pray that the love, joy, and peace of God will continue to reign in their home.
Celebration of love it was, where the flavors, colors, and cultures were on display at the traditional marriage rites of Vanessa and Emmanuel. And all the razzmatazz that accompanies such traditional ceremonies was not in short supply in a union blessed by family, sealed in tradition.
Congratulations to the lovebirds, and may they remain in love. And we do apologize for the loss of audio in some parts of that report. Now, let's journey to Jamari in Bauchi State, where tradition still speaks in the language of drums and royalty. This time, it's for the turbaning of 3 illustrious sons of the land.
Recently in Jama'ari, tradition spoke louder than words when the Emir's palace became a theater of heritage, pride and honor. The event was the turbaning of 3 illustrious sons of the Emirates: Haruna Alfa Ahmad as Talba, Muhammad Ahmed Al-Khali as Danruwata, and Sani Gidadu as Marafa of Jama'ari, each recognized for their service and devotion to the community. Presided over by the Emir, Nuhu Ahmad Wabi.
Our decision in the Emirate Council that all those who have been honored with the traditional title must come forward for turbaning, because some have stayed for over 10 or 15 years without turbaning. So we made it a duty upon ourselves that all must be turbaned. And the 4 of them were awarded these titles by my late father. They have been performing diligently for the progress of Jamari, Bauchi State and Nigeria. So my message to them is just to continue with what they have done.
For the new title holders, it was a call to more service and responsibility.
I feel highly elated and highly honored to have been bestowed with this honor of Talban Jama'ari. And I remain mostly grateful to the Emir, to the Emirate Council, and to my former governor, the one I served for over 8 years as Commissioner of Finance. We have done a lot toward development of the area. In the area of agriculture, education, we have improved the quality of life. We do everything possible to ensure that we contribute immensely toward the development and uplifting of the status of our people.
This is something we have been looking forward to for the past 2 decades, because that's when he got his title, and we thank everybody for supporting us and making it possible.
Guests and dignitaries from across the country gathered to witness a royal rite as well as celebrate unity.
Thank you so much. Now let's take another break. Newsline will be right back. Thanks for staying with us. Have you ever told a lie or been hurt by one? From harmless white lies to deep deceit, lying is something many admit to. But why do people do it? Is it fear, shame, survival, or selfish gain? Ngozi Okekaro explores the roots, consequences, and ripple effects of deception through voices of citizens, psychologists, and religious leaders. Let's hear from her.
Lie may seem harmless at first, but behind every lie is a ripple of consequences that can break trust, damage relationships, and even take a toll on mental health. From children lying to escape punishment to adults twisting the truth at home, in offices, or in relationships, dishonesty has become a common social behavior. Experts say the more people lie, the easier it becomes as the brain gradually becomes desensitized to guilt.
Lies of confirmation means when people tell lies as a result of memory lapses, and they believe that it's true when they're telling such lies. Then we have white lies. These white lies are being told by the government officials, politicians, to cover up some, certain things within the government, rank and file of the government. Then we have what we call pathological lies. Some people tell lies because it is inherent in them.
But the big question remains, why do people lie? No matter the reason, lies can eat deep into the fabric of trust.
Some are telling lies in order to cover up.
To avoid hurting someone's feelings.
Because of fear. Fear of unknown. The person will now tell lies in the courts to avoid being jailed.
The danger, experts warn, is not just in the lie itself, but in the lasting damage it causes to human connection.
We all know that all liars, their place is lake of fire according to the scripture.
Many places in the Quran, you tell lies, God will not be happy with you. You see, a liar can never be a leader.
Of lies amounts to an offense under the Nigerian law when such lies are told on oath.
Are children even aware of these dangers? Many start lying early, sometimes to please, sometimes out of fear, unknowingly, setting a pattern that could shape their future relationships.
I am going to church, I am not going to tell lies. It can take somebody to hellfire.
So, what could be the way out? Psychologists believe honesty, empathy, and open communication remain the best tools. Teaching children early about the value of truth and creating safe spaces where adults can speak without fear of judgment may be the first steps.
Be true to yourself, although in many cases truth hurts. And for those habitual liars earnestly seeking to stop, the advice remains: see a mental health professional.
While it is this talking trade of some persons do not condone lying. Own up, take responsibility, promote true values, and remember, God is always watching. Now, nails are one of the most visible parts of the human body, often reflecting personal style and grooming habits. In the past, simple trimming and light polish were enough. But today, artificial nails have become a major fashion trend, especially among women. Beyond the glamour, however, are growing concerns about nail damage, infections, and other health risks linked to excessive use of artificial nails. Erica Ivy reports on the beauty trend that may be taking a silent toll on our health.
Natural nails carry their own charm, simple, healthy, and beautiful in their natural state. But lately, concerns are growing over the rising trend of excessive nail curing, overfiling, and the constant use of artificial or acrylic nails that often involve harsh chemicals.
If you are able to use nails, then you can fix. If you cannot use the nails, you leave to fix nails.
When I fix my nails, I won't be able to turn the market, and I won't be able to, it will inconvenience me.
Maybe when I have occasions, I can do fixing, but on simple days, I'm just natural.
And on the natural nails, when you use the polish to polish it, it won't only bring out the beauty like when it's been polished on the artificial nails.
Over the decades, artificial nails have evolved into a fashion statement with imaginative designs, bold colors, and eye-catching patterns that make the fingers stand out. But the question remains, how safe are these beauty practices?
We have cortical, file, cotton wool, those things. Sometimes, our customers, due to rush now, they will just use the one we've already used with the one that someone has already contacted the virus.
Some customers do come in and want to repeat people's corticals, which is not right. Hence, we tell them no.
I don't really like fixing nails. I can paint my nails, but not fix it.
I'm an hairstylist, so when I fix nails, I cannot work very well, and I can't wash my clothes, I can't cook, I'm not comfortable with it.
While nail enhancements may appear glamorous, concealing wrinkles, veins, and discoloration to give the hands a youthful look, experts warn that beauty may be coming at a cost.
This artificial nail, when you fix it, it's not good for you to force it out. When you force it out, it also gives you injury, and sometimes women don't have patience. Even with the injury, they will still want to fix.
As a person that is technical advanced in the business and you're using a particular product and you see a reaction in your own personal hand, that means you should stop using the product because it will definitely have an effect.
Improper sterilization of tools, allergic reactions to chemicals, and repeated fixing that leads to peeling or cracking of the natural nails are some of the growing health concerns.
There are some ladies that have fixed their nails for more than 20-30 years. They don't have issues with their nails. And there are some that will fix it one day and they start having issues with their nails. Some people have very light nails and they want to remove it now and still fix it now. Very light nails. And some people have a very strong nail surface which will not allow any bacterial infection to penetrate inside of them. Personal hygiene matters even when you are fixing nails or you're not fixing nails.
Because as you're filing, you need to file the nails when you have wound from there. And why the wound will not die? Because the nails, it's on top.
Naturally, the making of nails is not bad. Depends on the quality and the type you're going for. It doesn't change anything. If my wife loves making nails, I'm comfortable with it.
For many women, nailed art is a fashion, a form of self-expression, creativity, and confidence. Yet, dermatologists and manicurists alike advise moderation. They say giving the nails some breathing space can prevent decay, infection, and long-term damage.
Well, I think I agree with one of the respondents. It's actually a choice, but some are just too long, and then picking up things are so very, very difficult. In all, don't get botched. Now, what could drive one human to take the life of another? Anger, betrayal, or sudden loss of control? That's the question haunting residents of Idoji community in Okene local government area of Kogi State after a young lady reportedly stabbed a man to death. Our correspondent David Uritogun, who visited the scene of the incident, brings us details.
A usually peaceful community in Okene local government area of Kogi State was drawn into mourning in the early hours of Thursday, October 23rd, following the gruesome killing of one Issa Momo, reportedly stabbed to death in his room by a lady. Eyewitnesses say the silence of dawn was shattered by Issa's desperate screams for help. One of the first responders told Newsline she rushed into his room, only to meet the 50-something-year-old man in a pool of his own blood, clutching at a young woman.
She heard scream of Issa, who was in his late 50s, from his room. Rushing to the room, she met him bleeding from his neck, holding on to a lady's hijab.
So she finally met my dad with blood and knife on the floor. That she couldn't move, he couldn't move himself again. That's why she quickly ran down to call her dad, order dad to assist her. As her dad on his way upstairs, and he met a lady called the lady putting on hijab with blood stain. The only chance he has is to hold the lady's clothes, the lady's hijab, so and be screaming.
In a frantic bid to save his life, family members and neighbors rushed him to a nearby hospital, but doctors pronounced him dead on arrival.
From the story we've gotten so far is that the girl in question, she's a married woman, and she's just 21 years old, and she lives up here, close to the house. According to the girl, she made a lot of things that he has been disturbing him. I don't know, but he's disturbing her actually. I don't know if she's trying to defend herself. That is what she says. So we can't really know except God that knows what's happened.
Police authorities have since arrested her, while investigations are ongoing to uncover the motive behind the tragic incident that has left the quiet community in shock.
This is sad indeed. We will follow up on this case and bring you updates. Let's take our last break. Thanks for staying. Each year when the clouds gather and the rivers swell, Oko community braces for a familiar visitor, the flood that steals sleep, sweeps dreams and silences the laughter of children. Yet amidst the rising waters stands an unbroken people rooted in the soil of their ancestors, refusing to drift away from the land that birthed them. Here, hope has become their only shelter. Becky Greatman Chukwuka visited this community for first-hand reports.
Oko community, Oshimili South local government area of Delta State. Flood has become a recurring nightmare. Year after year, the people brace for its return, not asking if it will come, but when and how much it will destroy. Behind me is what used to be one of the bustling paths linking Oko Amakom to Oko Anala. It's completely taken over by flood, forcing residents to depend on canoes for their daily movement. For many here, this is more than just a disaster. The River Niger has once again overflows its banks, swallowing homes, schools, churches, and farmlands. For farmers, it's another painful harvest season, forced to reap prematurely or watch their crops perish underwater. While children wade gleefully through the murky waters, their parents count their losses.
We need help from the government. That is the solution we need.
At times before, we dey go for camp, but the camp no dey. Water dey carry us.
When flood come, buyers go dey rush. The thing we for sell 20,000, we go sell am 5,000, so that the thing will not spoil for your house.
At the local health post, nurses and pharmacists struggle to serve patients as floodwaters seep into treatment areas, turning healthcare delivery into a battle of endurance.
A lot of them are complaining of this typhoid, malaria, and even cholera. Just a couple of a week, a young man just called, and before I could come to this place, the child just passed on.
With all 6 villages of Oko submerged, the traditional ruler, His Royal Majesty Eze Osita I, Ako of Oko Kingdom, laments the devastation and calls for urgent intervention.
Every year we pray that if the flood is coming, let it not be much, to enable us be able to preserve so many things, not wasting all we labored for the whole year. It's very devastating, honestly, for us to start harvesting prematurely every year, wasting a lot of what we have labored for.
So far, no government officials have visited since the floodwaters rose, and the community's appeals have gone unanswered. For the people of Oko, aside losing property, hope and heritage are also lost. Their message is simple. They seek not pity, but a lasting solution.
Hopefully, relevant authorities will help swing into action on channels, and it should be a peaceful story next rainy season in Oko. And as the journeys end, yet the stories live on. Each tale reminds us that home is not just a place, but a purpose. As the night deepens and the lights dim, may we keep our hopes alive in every return, every climb, and every daring dream, because every story we tell is a bridge to who we are. This has been Newsline tonight. We thank you for watching. Good night.